26 minutes onto the 7 o'clock hour. This is where I say good morning to you, Grenada, Carrier, Cupidi, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. Welcome to Good Morning Grenada for today. It's Wednesday, the 27th of May. Yeah, that's the date. Wednesday, the 27th of May. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, there's a flu going around. Please don't catch it, all right? Yeah. It's terrible, man. Mildred Smith, good morning. Joan Brathwaite Batson, Jillian McIntyre, Yulin Alexander, Veronica Sandy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you all are having a great morning thus far. Let's start this the way we usually do. Good morning, Lord. Thank you for the gift of life, for the breath in my lungs, and for the peace in my heart. As I rise today, I choose to focus on your goodness and walking the light of your grace. Let my thoughts be clear, my heart be kind, and my spirit open to receive all that you have prepared for me. Today I declare, I am grateful for where I am, excited for where I am going, and confident in who walks with me. May my life reflect gratitude, my words inspire hope, and my actions spread love. Amen, amen, and amen. Let's see the second one that he usually sends. Wednesday's blessings. God is able to make all grace abound towards you, that you may have abundance for every good work. And that's from 2 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 8. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Reverend. Yeah, it's a good day to have a good day in a good way. I am sitting, but I wish I did not have to. I can't sit down. 24 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Good morning, Lauren Salim. How are you doing? Michelle Bernard, Rita Williams, Monica Meros Williams. Good morning, good morning. How are you doing? Jennifer Colimo, good morning. Petlin, how are you doing? I hope you're having a great day thus far. Reaching out and saying good morning to Eze Chidinma, a princess all the way in Nigeria this morning. Wow, we've got connections. She's locked in. Good morning. Hope you, well, what time is it over there now? Hope we're in the well, no, you should be a couple hours ahead. Good morning to the world. That's what we do, man. We reach out to the world. It is a good day to have a good day in a good way as always. Yeah, it's a wonderful feeling to be alive, right? Yeah. Yeah, the word of the day today, that word is allocate. Allocate. A-L-L-O-C-A-T-E. Allocate. Yesterday we had welfare, health and well-being. Today it's allocate. And it means set aside, to set aside for a purpose. Allocate, to set aside for a purpose. Here's how we can use that word in a sentence. Funds were allocated for repairs. Folks, don't forget the Maggie King of the Grill. GBN's Maggie King of the Grill comes up this Saturday at the Montrouge playing field. It's gonna be epic, that I can tell you for certain. It will be epic. It definitely will be. The grillers are all prepped and ready. Althea Edwards, good morning. Yolan Swan, thanks for joining us as always. Yep. It's a good day to have a good day. The motivational tip of the day is up next. Izzy Princess, good morning. all the busmen of the nation. Good morning, Red Hot. What's up, bro? You and your passengers, you've got a special passenger this morning. Drummer. Good morning to Drummer and your folks at Nawasa. Yeah, he's a big man there. All right, don't sit. Keep going, you know. Because things are already better. You gotta claim it. You can pray. The motivational tip of the day is up next. It's a good day to have a good day.
Listen to them words now. Things already better. Things already better. Things already better.
Can you say that with some measure of authority? Declutter your environment. A tidy space leads to a clear mind. Organize your surroundings to reduce distractions. Declutter your environment, yeah? Clean up, you know. A tidy space leads to a clear mind. Organize your surroundings to reduce distractions. Yeah. Declutter, I love this word. Yeah. Look like it asleep. Me just not go work and me soul gotta keep. Guess what? Skin me teeth already. Me don't get it yet, but me see it already. Blessing in a fleet already. God tell me say me are the wheat already. Table prepare with me seat already. Wake up to me blessing, me sleep already. Cup over 4 times me eat already. Food not share yet, but it's sweet already. Things already better. What's buzzing this morning? Buzzing. Let's see what's making the headlines this morning. Well, Grenada Parliament to consider new border security legislation, and Grenada takes part in regional Sagasm workshop. That's locally in the region. Barbados and Guyana introduce ID card travel agreement. Internationally, Israeli airstrike hits central Gaza City. And in sports, Grenadian footballers sign with a U.S. club. Yeah, those are the buzzing stories this morning. Yep. It's a good day to have a good day. I want to just take a little of this. Things are going to double for you. Scooby and the guys, good morning. Aaron and the guys. The folks inside of Laborie, good morning. Loveman, Small Axe in Springs, good morning to you. Carrico and PD Martinique, good morning. The folks on YouTube channel, Reverend Samuel Caesar and your team, good morning. All those of you out there in the diaspora. Looking forward to the homecoming. Well, we are looking forward to it as well. Sing my praise unto you, my Lord. This morning, I will be talking with, after the Money Wise program, Arises Money Wise program, I will be talking with Mr. Kwamina Eben, looking at manhood. Yeah, we look forward to that conversation. 17 minutes on to the 7 o'clock hour to the folks at the Morris Bishop International Airport. Good morning. The folks in the Meteorological Office. Good morning. Yeah, the forecasters and everybody. Hermitage and St. Patrick. Good morning. Rose Hill. Latast. River Sally. The Lessie family in Latast. Good morning. Carol, good morning, what's up? Montrose, how's Charmin? I haven't seen Charmin in quite a while. Michelle Daniel, good morning. How was Bimsha doing today? Cheese on bread, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, let's go. What's wrong with you? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Alright, let's do it like this. I've got something to share with you today for Wednesday only. Pull up to Flow in Grenville from 12 to 1 p.m., 12 noon to 1 p.m. for the launch of Rhythm Wednesday. Top up, pay your bill in full, switch or sign up, and you can spin to win your summer starters. Plus a flash sale in store and a chance to dash and grab tickets to Amped, which is taking place this Saturday. Don't miss it. 12 noon to 1 p.m. today at Flow Grenville. Keep your rhythm flowing. Also today only, grab the Samsung A07 for just $50 or get $500 in purchase rewards when you switch or sign up. That's available at all Flow stores today only, and it's up until all stocks are exhausted. Keep your rhythm flowing. Also Upgrade, there's another one that I want to share with you. Upgrade, all right. Yeah, Upgrade season is here. Get his Samsung S26 or select smartphones at big discounts and pay as low as $30 a month. 12 or 24 months plan are available. And check it out in store today. Switch and save big with Flow Prepaid. Keep your number and get a free 30-day plan. 80 gigabytes of data, unlimited calls and text, unlimited WhatsApp and social media, plus 50% off from for 6 months. Keep your rhythm. Flow is just keeping the rhythm flowing, all right? Bundle with Flow Business and get a mobile from just $50 a month, plus 6 months free smart solutions. That's website and professional email included. You can call 440, or not 440, but 449-4009. Yep, you heard it, right? Keep your rhythm flowing. That's the idea. Okay?
Let me hear you make a joyful noise!
Yeah. Catherine Phillip, good morning. Peter Joseph, my brother Hazel and Miller, good morning. Monica Miros Williams, good morning. Folks, the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather comes up right after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
The Ministry of Agriculture White Potato Production Initiative is an OECS sub-regional project aimed at reducing Grenada's reliance on imported white potatoes, which in 2025 had an imported value of over 4.5 million EC dollars. The White Potato Production Initiative is part of the Ministry of Agriculture's food security drive and is being undertaken with the simultaneous cultivation of other crops such as sweet potatoes, pineapples, coconuts, carrots, and other vegetables. Other OECS countries like Dominica and St. Vincent and the Grenadines are already at an advanced stage in white potato production, with Dominica completely cutting the import of white potatoes during the first quarter of 2026. Grenada is now preparing to advance production for better output in 2027. The Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry, ensuring food and nutrition security for all.
In Grenada, sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. They teach discipline, teamwork, and resilience. They inspire the next generation to push boundaries and chase excellence. That's why the Investment Migration Agency of Grenada is proud to support sports initiatives as part of our commitment to youth and national development. When we invest in sports programs, we invest in the future. We invest in the health and well-being of our youth, and we invest in broadening Grenada's reach, proudly connecting our athletes, our talent, and our nation to a global community. Together, we all go further. The Investment Migration Agency. Unlock the possibilities.
the people of Grenada. My name is Yadiris Echenique Paz, Ambassador of Cuba. It is a pleasure to extend an invitation to join us at the GBM Maggie King Grill Festival. Cuba is very proud of its rich culinary heritage, flavors that tell the story of our traditions and our culture. At this festival, we will share with you the taste of Cuban cuisine. We're looking forward to joining Grenada in this vibrant national event, where friendship and cultural exchange are expressed through the universal language of food. See you soon at the GBN Maggie King of the Grill. Looking forward to see you.
Fire up the coals, bring the flavor. It's time to crown the King of the Grill. Maggie King of the Grill 2026 is calling you. Think you got the creativity, the skills, and the fire to rule the grill? This is the ultimate showdown for chefs, backyard masters, and the food lovers alike. Step up, show your talent, and claim your spot among the best. With over $5,000 in cash and prizes to be won, the stakes has never been hotter. Happening Saturday, May the 30th. Register now. Call or WhatsApp.
This is the morning edition of news for today, Wednesday, 27th May 2026. In the headlines, Grenada Parliament to consider new border security legislation, and Grenada takes part in regional Sagassam workshop. In the region, Barbados and Guyana introduce ID card travel agreement. Internationally, Israeli airstrike hits central Gaza City. And in sports, Grenadian footballers sign with U.S. club. The details to this and more right after these messages.
Served Grenada for decades, we are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wiring accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Life doesn't stand still. It moves. It grows. It asks you to believe in what's next. Your first car. Owning your home. The business you build. The future you choose to invest in. Life moves in steps. When you're ready to take the next one, we're here to help you move forward with banking solutions designed for life. From vehicle financing and mortgages to education savings, credit solutions, and support for your growing business. Republic Bank, ready for life, every step.
Welcome to the island's boldest ATV experience. The only tour daring enough to bring you this level of excitement, freedom, and adrenaline. Feel the power. Conquer rugged trails. Experience breathtaking views. Ride beyond the ordinary. Feel the power. This is not just a tour. This is the power of Ride ATV. Get ready for fun. Get ready for excitement. Get ready to ride. Book now at ride.gd or call 473-422-1011. Ride ATV. Adventure starts here.
Good morning, everyone. With the details, I am Gordon Joseph as we welcome Graphics and his team from Hot 98 FM. In the local news, a sitting of the House of Representatives will take place today at 9 a.m. at the Grenada Houses of Parliament at Mount Welldale. Among the key items to be on the agenda is the presentation of the Advanced Passenger Information and Passenger Name Record Bill 2026. Under the bill, airlines and vessels would be required to submit passenger and crew information to local authorities and CARICOM impacts ahead of travel. The legislation also includes provisions to protect confidential data while allowing limited information sharing for national security, public safety, and the prevention of serious crimes. Officials say the bill forms part of a wider CARICOM initiative aimed at strengthening regional border security and harmonizing travel information systems across member states. Similar legislation has been passed in Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Members of the public are invited to attend the sitting in person or follow proceedings live on television, radio, and streaming platforms. Delegates from Grenada are participating in the SASI Regional Workshop in Dominica, where regional stakeholders are meeting to strengthen SAGASM solutions. The National SAGASM Task Force says Grenada's involvement reflects the country's continued efforts to address the growing impact of SAGASM seaweed in livelihoods through regional cooperation and sustainable environmental strategies. The workshop, which runs from May 26th to 28th, includes discussions about national strategic plans on SAGASM, with participation from government ministries, private sector representatives, and civil society groups from across the region. Grenada's SAGASM management activities continue next week when the National SAGASM Task Force will lead a town hall meeting about the impact of the seaweed with affected communities. And finally, the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, their Seacraft on the Road initiative, recently delivered hands-on agricultural training and innovation to students in St. Andrew. The Seacraft program, officially launched last Monday, engaged farmers, schools, private partners, and other stakeholders through interactive sessions aimed at advancing Grenada's agricultural sector. Students from St. Michael's Catholic School, Grenada Christian Academy, and St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary School participated in hands-on poultry production training, planting exercises, and drone demonstrations. Meanwhile, students at T. Marisho Community College Maribor campus benefited from presentations on beekeeping, hydroponics, lab testing, and biogas production. That concludes the local segment of news. Stay with us. The regional and international developments, along with the sports and the weather, they're straight ahead. In the region, citizens of Barbados and Guyana will soon be able to travel between the two countries using only national ID cards under a new bilateral agreement taking effect on July 1st, 2026. The initiative removes the need for passports for eligible travelers and is expected to boost tourism, trade, business travel, and cultural exchange. Prime Minister Mia Mottley described the move as a major step toward making Caribbean integration more practical for citizens, while President Irfan Ali said it reflects the strong partnership and shared vision of both nations for a more connected Caribbean region. Looking further afield, Israel says it has killed Hamas military commander Mohammed Odeh in an airstrike in Gaza City on Tuesday. Palestinian medics say at least 3 people were killed and dozens injured after missiles hit a residential building in one of the city's busiest market areas ahead of the Eid al-Adha holiday. The Israeli military and Shin Bet security service said the buildings were being used as a hideout by Odeh and had been under surveillance for months. Hamas has not yet commented. Witnesses reported several missiles striking the building almost simultaneously as rescue teams searched through the rubble for survivors. The strike is the latest in a series of Israeli attacks in Gaza, despite a ceasefire that began in October. That's the regional and international news. The sports is up next. Good morning, sporting fans. Grenadian national footballers Amelia Bob and Malia Ramdani have signed up with the UPSL club RKC Third Coast FC for the upcoming summer season in the United States. The Grenada Football Association's General Secretary Carl Lee commended both athletes, saying the success reflects hard work and dedication, while expressing confidence they will gain valuable experience to strengthen Grenada's national program. In more football news, the GFA Premier League returns to action this Wednesday with two important matches set to officially close out the first round of the competition. At Lassages in St. David, St. David FC will take on Hard Rock FC. Meanwhile, football fans are expected to turn out in large numbers at the Queen's Park playing field for the much-anticipated St. George's Derby between FC Camerhorn and Queen's Park Rangers. Both games kick off at 7 p.m. That's all the sports at this time. We'll have more sports during our luncheon and primetime newscasts. Stay with us. The weather forecast is straight ahead.
Whether you're refreshing a bedroom or giving your home a bold new look, the Color Shop has the perfect paint and tools to make it happen, inside and out. With quality finishes for every surface and accessories to match, we make painting easy from start to finish. Whether it's a DIY weekend or a contractor starting a brand new project, the Color Shop is the trusted choice.
Folks, for the latest weather forecast, we now join forecaster Jonathan Price at the forecast desk at the MBIA. Good Wednesday morning, Jonathan.
Good morning to you and good morning, listeners. Here is the weather for today, Wednesday the 27th of May, 2026, as recorded at the Morris Bishop International Airport. It is currently hazy. Winds are coming from the east at 16 miles per hour. Barometric pressure is 1014.9 millibars, which is above normal and rising. Present temperature is 28.4 degrees Celsius and relative humidity 72%. Yesterday's maximum was 31.3 degrees Celsius and the minimum last night 27.3 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, only a trace of rainfall was recorded, hence the total for the month remains at 15.1 millimeters. And now for the public forecast for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique Valley for today and tonight. The weather is expected to be generally fair, windy, and hazy, with brief light showers overnight. And there is a warning for moderate haze in effect. Today's max will be 31.5 degrees Celsius with winds east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Seas will be moderate to rough with waves 6 to 9 feet in easterly swells, hence a marine advisory remains in effect. High tide will be at 1 p.m. and low tide at 7 p.m. Sunset will be at 6:27 and sunrise at 5:41. Just repeat the public forecast for today and tonight. The weather is expected to be generally fair, windy, and hazy with brief light showers. And once again, an advisory is in place for moderate haze. From the forecast of Morris Bishop International Airport, I'm Jonathan Price. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. You have a great day likewise. Folks, the weather forecast came to you with the kind compliments of our dear friends from Rennick & Thompson Company Limited.
Go paperless with e-billing. Get your Grenlec bill straight to your email inbox with myaccount.grenlec.com. Sign in to myaccount.grenlec.com, where you'll be directed to the home screen. Under Additional Options and Paperless Billing, hit Sign Up. Enter the email where you'd like to receive your bills. Check the accounts you want, then click Sign Me Up. It's that easy. Your bills now come straight to your email inbox. Paperless billing is here.
It's 5 minutes after 7 o'clock to end the news, a recap of the headlines. A Grenada Parliament to consider new border security legislation, and Grenada takes part in regional Sargassum workshop that's happening on the local scene. In the region, Barbados and Guyana introduce ID card travel agreement. Internationally, Israeli airstrike hits central Gaza City. And in sports, Grenadian footballers sign with U.S. club. Now that has been the morning edition of news for today, Wednesday, 27th day of May, 2026. On behalf of the entire news department and everyone who made this newscast possible, I'm Gordon Joseph, thanking you for viewing and listening, wishing you a safe and productive day, and extending that invitation to you to stick and stay with the network, because we are with you anywhere and everywhere. Graphics and the team from Hot 98, thank you for sharing your time with us. Have a good morning, everybody.
At 5 p.m. on August 5th, 1944, the schooner Island Queen sailed out of the St. George's Harbor. On board were some of Grenada's brightest and best sons and daughters. What happened afterwards remains a mystery.
Where Island Queen gone?
Heritage Theatre Company presents Lucy's Straw Hat, a full-length drama written and directed by Chris DeRiggs, a moving story about a family caught up in the drama of this great mystery. Meet Hyacinth, haunted and always ready to do mischief.
Rich man, he'll make him sign for you?
Lucy, beautiful and headstrong.
I had a dream, Mommy, but Hyacinth was there, holding my hand.
Lucy's Straw Hat at Grenada Trade Center on Saturday 13th and Sunday 14th June, and at Deluxe Cinema on Saturday 20th and Sunday 21st June. Advance tickets $60, $75 at the door. Come join us.
Where Island Queen gone?
The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union introduces its new digital platform, managing your finances at any time from anywhere.
As a part-time student, balancing work and studies can be a real challenge. But with GCCU's digital app, these worries are no more. My parents can now remotely transfer funds to my account, and I can check my balance at any time, giving me the freedom to achieve my goals.
My days can be long and tedious. With this app, I can ensure my loan is paid on time, transfer funds to someone else's account, and check my balances. I don't have to rush to do business during my lunch hour or after work anymore.
With this app, I can request checks to pay my suppliers, letters for my business transactions. I don't have to leave my farm to go stand in line.
The Grenville Credit Union digital platform. It's convenient and secure banking right at your fingertips. Download the app today from the Play Store or App Store, or call 442-8602-459-4325 or 416-8467 for further information.
Looking for the perfect pre-carnival fete? Then get ready for Rhythm and Spice, a Rotary brunch experience happening Sunday, June 28th from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Quarantine Point Recreational Park. Enjoy an afternoon of bold flavors, vibrant rhythms, and unforgettable vibes featuring Sakina and the Alpha One Band, plus guest artists and DJs. Early bird tickets are just $200 and available now on GoToFet.com. Dress code brunch chic, island elegance with spice-inspired tones. Hosted by the Rotary Club of Grenada. Proceeds support Rotary community projects. Rhythm and Spice, Sunday, June 28th, Quarantine Point Recreational Park. Sip, savor, socialize, support.
lots of plans, lots of ways to own your land. With ACB by your side, lots of ways to own with pride. Lots of chances to make it yours, lots of ways to open doors, lots of space to build much more, lots of reasons to own your future now. There are lots of reasons to own your future now.
Start building your tomorrow today with a Lots loan from ACB Grenada Bank.
There are lots of reasons to own your future now.
Lots. Land ownership. Tomorrow secured.
Terms and conditions apply.
What if growing your savings came with more flexibility and more rewards? Introducing the Ariza Advantage account from Ariza Credit Union. Earn 3.5% interest per year with a minimum first deposit of just EC $10,000. Enjoy a 5-year fixed term, unlimited deposits, no monthly fees, and added loan security. Plus exclusive Advantage member privileges, priority services, special offers, and more. Get the Ariza Advantage. This is the Ariza Promise. Better value, better service, members first. Visit arizacu.com or call us today.
Welcome to MoneyWise, your guide to wise financial decisions, made possible by Ariza Credit Union. Welcome to MoneyWise, your guide to wise financial decisions, made possible by Ariza Credit Union. Welcome to MoneyWise, your guide to wise financial decisions, made possible by Ariza Credit Union. Welcome to MoneyWise, your guide to wise financial decisions.
Welcome, viewers and listeners. Firstly, let me apologize for the absence of the traffic report this morning. Technical difficulties, we were unable to connect with Sergeant Troy Paul. But nonetheless, we'll continue with our programming as usual. On Wednesdays, we usually have Ariza's MoneyWise program. And joining me this morning is Miss Hillary Lawrence, Mrs. Hillary Lawrence, and she is representing Ariza this morning. She is from the Business Support Center. Right, Business Support Center. Okay, so good morning.
Good morning.
How have you been? It's a while you haven't come by me.
I know, yes. Everything is good so far, thank God, yes.
How is the Business Support Center going?
We are going. We're doing well so far. We just want persons to be a little more aware of their own, their own responsibility in business. So we are there to support businesses as usual, right there on Bruce Street. So give us a call.
Is it the Business Support Center? Is it a private entity or?
Yes, it is a private entity.
And are Grenadians taking the necessary steps, coming and get trained and?
We have persons coming, but we would like more businesses to take more accountability for their business in terms of getting it organized, their finances, structurally and that kind of thing. So we'll hope that more persons would come on out to get their business where they need it to be.
And how do you do it? You have you have structured sessions with people?
Yes, we do have structured session. If you want one-on-one coaching, I am also a business coach. You can schedule something with me. We have free business diagnostics we've been pushing. So if you're not sure where your business is and you need it to be diagnosed, like when you go to the doctor and get diagnosed, yes, we will do that for your business.
Next time, come with your business stethoscope, right?
Yes, definitely.
All right, so this morning you're representing Ariza, and a very critical topic area here, financing. Okay? Yes. So basically, the first question I want to ask you is, and I usually ask the questions that people out there want answers to.
Certainly.
All right. So why is it important for entrepreneurs to maintain proper financial records before applying for any sort of financing?
All right, so I'll break it down a little different. So let's think about you going to a sporting game. Let's say football or cricket.
I prefer cricket.
Right, so we are cricket fans. So think about if you're not taking scores.
All right.
What is going to happen? How would you know who win the game? Yeah, so think about your business like that.
Like a cricket match?
Like any sporting game. How would you know who the winner is?
All right.
You have to take score. Yeah?
Okay.
You have to take a record of what's happening. So it is the same thing with your business. You need to know what's happening. So in order to do that, you need to track what is going on in the business.
Okay.
Yeah? So when you do that, then you'll know what the outcome is. If you're making a profit, if you're making a loss, if you're spending too much money on entertainment or your rent is too high, if you're not tracking that, there's no way you'll be able to determine what are the next steps for the business.
No, I am sure that in your line of duty as that coach, right, and the training center, the support center, you would find a lot of people coming into your offices saying things like, I am doing everything right. I'm trying hard. I have sleepless nights, and so forth. And things that I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah.
And it's simply because they're not tracking their business properly.
Yes, so that'd be one of the reasons why you're probably saying that you're doing everything right. So maybe there are things you're not even thinking about tracking. Because again, things like you need knowledge, yeah? And with knowledge, you get the understanding, you get the results that you're probably looking for, you didn't know that you had to do. So that is another key area. And that's why we said to persons to come and get the business diagnosed.
Right.
Yeah?
Come and see where we at.
Where you at and where you need to go.
Okay.
Yeah?
All right. Now, how does consistent cash flow, the intake of cash and so forth, how does it impact the sustainability and growth of your business?
Right. So cash flow is the lifeblood of the business. Without cash, basically you're running a charity. You need the money coming in. And cash flow is not just money coming in, but the money going out as well. Yeah? So cash flow is money coming in the business and money going out of the business.
As the word says, it's flowing.
It's flowing, right? Like the river, like rain, like, water. So you need the cash to flow and to flow in both directions, like I said. So a lot of people have businesses, and one of the things that we see a lot of business persons have a challenge with is the accounts payable and the accounts receivable. So to break that down a little, the accounts payable are the persons that you owe money to. So you go out to one of the suppliers and you, instead of purchasing using your cash, you take it on credit. Yeah? You buy it and you take it and they say, okay, pay us later in 30 days. But you have the reverse. When customers come to you, which is your accounts receivable, and you tell them it's okay to pay you in 30 days or 60 days or whatever payment terms you have. So this is the challenge. Sometimes when you give persons a time frame, they don't pay you within the allotted time frame.
And it upsets your whole operation.
It upsets your operation. So now you wait in 30 days because, of course, before you determine your cash flow too, you have to determine if your business could sustain that. Because you need cash. You can't go to Grenada and tell them after the 30 days pass, give me another 30 or 60 days, because then you know what would happen.
Well, and some folks, sometimes they get all, hyped up in the head, Grenada cut me off. But Grenada too has a cash flow issue.
All businesses have that.
They have to maintain that as well.
Yes.
Okay. You know what? There's a gentleman in Ariza that is watching you this morning, and I'm seeing him pulling his beard and he's smiling. Mr. Whiteman, good morning. He likes that kind of talk.
Yes.
Innocent. The business can't absorb that now.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Yes.
And persons have to know that. You have to know that where your business is, can you afford large amounts of accounts receivable? That's people owing your businesses. I heard a lot of stories with persons saying they literally had to close their business because so much persons are owing them.
Yeah.
So their business is out there basically in persons' hands. So these things have to be managed, because without the cash you cannot go ahead and expand the business. You cannot buy the new equipment that the business would need.
I want to go back a bit, right?
Yes.
In terms of record keeping, How does record keeping, proper record keeping, affect your progress as a business?
Right.
Expansion and everything like that.
Well, definitely it would affect it, because again, you cannot determine if the business could afford that purchase now. You may want the vehicle, and obviously when you go to the financial institution, that's one of the first things they would ask for. How is the business doing? What is the business doing? Right. You can't have that in your head. Yeah? No way they can put that on a record that it's in Innocent's head or in Hillary's head.
Yeah.
So you need that activity to be documented, right? So they could determine if you're a good risk or a bad risk. Yeah. Okay. And nobody want to take any bad risks on anything, because just like the credit union and the other institution, they are responsible for the monies that they give out. Yeah, so they have to measure their risk, and how they do that is by determining if you or I, the user, the people out there, are risky.
Right.
Yeah.
High risk.
Or low risk. Right.
Right.
And in order to determine that, they would need to see your records. Okay. So records are quite important in a business. And like I said, it's similar when you're doing when you're in a sporting game. You have to take the record to determine the score.
You have to know how to maneuver your players, who you should pull out now because they got a yellow card and you don't want them getting a red card. And okay. Yeah. All right. Now, how can training and financial education help business owners improve their chances of accessing funding and business development?
Right. So that's a key one, and that one is close to my heart because I'm a teacher as well. So I love financial education. I love education as a whole, because we see a lot of people coming in and they know their business. They know the business in their head, but they don't know all the things relating to the business, and especially, I want to say that, especially finance. All they know, they make money. Yeah,
they make money and
they make money and they spend money. But where's the money going? What is it going towards? So in our training, we have workshops, and so that we teach persons what goes on your balance sheet. So when you go to the financial institution and they ask you for your financial statement, well, people draw blank. Oh, my accountant has it. No, your accountant shouldn't have it. This is your record. You should have it. You should be able to explain what's going on in it. This is my expenses, this is my income, this is my cost, this is my gross profit, this is my percentage, right? You should know what's going on in there. So the education, when you come to our training, we will teach you those things. We'll teach you the different terms that the accountants use. When, as I know, mentioned things like accounts payable and receivable. So when you hear persons talking, you're able to pick up on what they're saying. You're not there drawing a blank, because business people are supposed to get training anyway.
Yeah. You see, one of the problems is people, sometimes you have situations where people inherit a business.
Yes.
Okay, it was passed down, and it's just a family thing, so they just assume that rule of ownership, and sometimes not even interested in the line of business, but they're at the head of a business, and the time comes when you want to do expansion or you want to do certain things, and you need to be talking financial talk.
Yes.
And you can't.
You can't. But let me just say this, Innocent. In 2026, we have no excuse. Absolutely no excuse for learning, for knowledge in any area of our life. Would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah? So
1,000%.
Persons shouldn't have any reason why they're not more knowledgeable. It's because we choose not to be.
Yeah.
Yeah? Just as everything else, we choose not to be. Yeah?
Just get complacent.
We just get complacent. Yeah. So knowledge is definitely a key area in a business, and I want to stress especially to do with financing. You can't go in front of the loans officer when they ask you what is your sales. You're drawing a blank, like sales. I know a sell thing, but is that sales?
Yeah.
Yes. I know a buy thing. Is that expenses? Is that asset? Is that a liability? You have to know these things so that you would know the next steps for your business as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so what advice would you give to entrepreneurs who are right now preparing to approach a financial institution for business support?
Right. So come to the Business Support Center. we would give you a free, as I said, I'm stressing the word free because everybody seems to have money is an issue. So we offer you a free 30-minute business diagnostic. And then we would help you determine the next steps in terms of if your finances are in order, if they're not in order. Yeah. So we want you to come and get your business diagnosed so that you can determine what it is you need. And if you're not keeping records, that would be the next step. Get your records, whether it's your receipts, your checkbooks, your bank statement. These things are important to the business. You can't just throw that away or put it in a box somewhere and don't remember what you do with it. Yeah? You have to. That's what we call evidence. That's evidence. You know, when you go to court, in order for them to convict the person, they must have evidence. Yes. The business must have evidence.
And that's circumstantial, eh?
Not circumstantial. Yes. Hardcore evidence that they could put their hand on. Yeah? So bring your evidence, and then we'll help you build your financial statement and give you a little bit of understanding of what's going on in the business. And I would say to make time to understand what's happening. If you have an accountant and you don't want to come by business support, we understand because everybody needs business and clients. But spend some time with your accountant, half an hour. You're paying the man and the lady. Tell them you want to spend at least half an hour with them, explaining what the data is saying, what the figures mean. Yeah? Accountants should be able to do that. If you're not doing it, again, the business support center will do that for you, but this time with a fee. So come to get a business diagnosed, pull your records together, start tracking, and get somebody to explain it. So that when you sit in front of the loans officer and they ask you a question, you know what's in the document. Right. It's not a document somebody prepared and you're not sure what's going on in there.
Okay. All right. Yes. Now, as we do the wrap, this session should have gone on for an hour. Yeah, but I know you're busy. Now, what are some of the common financial challenges entrepreneurs face when seeking loans or other forms of financing?
One of the big ones I would say maybe is the business don't have a savings. A lot of people go to the bank. Sometimes the bank give you what they call I give you money if you don't have money because you may have assets. But if you have cash, some kind of cash, it could help push your loan a little further.
A little injection.
Yes. So you need to start putting some money aside for the business. Again, you don't have records. You go to the bank, they ask me my records because I'm passing it through the bank. Yeah, but all they've seen is figures. They don't know what the figures mean. Right. So keeping the record is another important thing. Sometimes spending too much on things that are not business related. Mixing the business money, people. Mixing the business money with your personal finance. That is a big one. So your business is yours. We know the business is yours. But when you register the business, you register it so it could stand on its own and you could be on your own. I would suggest you pay yourself something, whether it's weekly, whether it's monthly, whether it's daily. But separate the business, giving it a chance to grow. Yeah, and the records in there is related to business and not trying to figure out if this is a personal expense or a business expense. That gives accountant a lot of headache, and sometimes business persons think that we prying into their business, but we have to, because when we see $500 for something, we have to know what that $500 means. We need to classify it. We need to put it into a particular category. So if you keep your business separate, the accountant don't have to ask you. It's in your private account. You don't have to present that. We just record what's in your business account. So this one, I would say, is a very key one, that keeping the business finance and your personal finance separate. Not showing you about your tax obligation as well. Sometimes a lot of things is when your accountant doing your books, they realize that you have different debts that you probably didn't know you had. So you're asking, we ask different questions, and then we determine what goes on your record.
Okay.
Yeah?
All right. Wow. Let me ask you this. Why is it that you're offering the diagnostics free?
Because we want business owners to come. We want persons to come. And out of that, when we see the need, we probably would create a workshop or a session that would help persons.
Okay.
Yeah? Because we know finance is always a challenge, and Yeah, the diagnosis doesn't take that long. So
before we go, tell my viewers and listeners where you can be located, the business center, the business support center, and how they can be contacted.
Right. So the business support center, like I said, it's on Bruce Street. For the people who don't know where Bruce Street is, that's the street right after the tunnel. We're opposite the road there. You'll see the nice big blue sign. Our number is 439-2725. 439-2725, the business support center. So come and see us today.
Okay.
Yes.
Miss Hillary Lawrence, thank you for sharing with us this morning.
Sure.
I can assure you that by the time you get back to the office, your phone lines will be ringing like crazy.
Yes.
People are going to come setting up appointments and so forth. Thank you
welcome.
Once again.
Thank you, Innocent.
Right.
Thank you, Ariza, for the opportunity.
Folks, that has been Ariza's Money Wise program. We take a quick break. When we come back, the conversation continues. Don't you go anywhere.
Today's edition of Money Wise was made possible by Ariza Credit Union.
What if growing your savings came with more flexibility and more rewards? Introducing the Ariza Advantage account from Ariza Credit Union. Earn 3.5% interest per year with a minimum first deposit of just EC $10,000. Enjoy a 5-year fixed term, unlimited deposits, no monthly fees, and added loan security. Plus exclusive Advantage member privileges, priority services, special offers, and more. Get the Ariza Advantage. This is the Ariza Promise. Better value, better service, members first. Visit arizacu.com or call us today.
Go paperless with e-billing. Get your Grenlec bill straight to your email inbox with myaccount.grenlec.com. Sign in to myaccount.grenlec.com, where you'll be directed to the home screen. Under Additional Options and Paperless Billing, hit Sign Up. Enter the email where you'd like to receive your bills. Check the accounts you want, then click Sign Me Up. It's that easy. Your bills now come straight to your email inbox. Paperless billing is here.
Looking to shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein? With GPC Global, it's never been easier. Get your very own US address and shop from around the world. With GPC Global, you can order the latest trends and must-have items, all delivered straight to Grenada to your closest post office for your pickup. We offer the cheapest rates, and our service is reliable and quick. No more waiting for weeks for your packages. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Join the Grenada Postal family today and start shopping smarter. Visit us online at www.grenadapostal.com or call us on 437-POST. That's 437-7678. GPC Global, your gateway to the world.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
Have you been thinking of purchasing a water tank? Now is the time. Our tanks are built tough, UV resistant, food grade safe, and is designed with thick, durable walls to prevent leaks and cracks. So whether it's for your home, your farm, or business, we've got the perfect size. We've made owning your tanks easy and affordable through our partnership with Ariza Credit Union. Visit On The Spot Hardware, choose your high-quality water storage tanks, and contact Ariza Credit Union.
Distributed by Echo Blue Limited. Visit us on the Lansopine Main Road or call 405-4818.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. The conversation continues. And as I told you this morning, I'm joined by my good friend, Mr. Kwamina Amen. He is here this morning. As you can see by his attire, he's a really rootsical kind of man, deep rooted in the culture and Africanism and everything like that. So this morning we're here primarily to talk about manhood and the challenges that are being, the challenges we face as men, young men especially. We see our young men going off their rockers. So tell us, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Brother Innocent. Thank you for having us here to initiate the discussion on manhood. Our young men are in crisis. The males in our society are in crisis, and this morning we want to begin a conversation that would reveal some of the hidden dimensions to the problem we're facing, and later on, recommend a strategy that we can use with our young men to improve our conditions. What we see frustration, we see addictions, we see violence within each other, we see gambling, we see dropout of training and schooling, we see gatherings on the side of the road with more drinking and more addictions. And with the little efforts of men to succeed is like solo, one or two guys, or here and there one guy will be doing something economically successful. Now, to understand the problem and to arrive at a solution, we have to look very deep and hard at our social society, our social structure, and the things that we were born into. And if you're born in Japan, you speak Japanese, no choice.
Yeah.
You're born into Russia, you speak Russian, no choice. You're born into Grenada, you speak Grenadian, no choice. And not only is the language, but the philosophy of the point of view, the way we see each other, is automatically absorbed and programmed and replayed by all people. Now, with our young men, before we go into what is the challenges, we have to look at the ideal model of manhood, the ideal model of manhood before slavery. Before contact with the Europeans, what were the ideals of model in the Caribbean, North and South America, Africa, India, the Philippines, all indigenous societies except Europe. Before the 15th century, their model of manhood include knowledge of your role, your identity, your relationship with the society, with the women, with your children. And in various cultures, there were various styles, but basically it will focus on the Caribbean and Africa. Basically, the role of the man, when you were born a boy, every year on your birthday, your father will take you and plant a tree in a circle, eventual circle. And after 21 years, you have 21 trees showing you your space on earth, your plot of land upon which you as a man initiate production and sustenance and provision of safety, security, and protection for your family. That's the basic model. Look at what's happened in 2026. When a young man is born into Grenada, he has nothing unless his family own property, unless he do what the slave masters say after losing his childhood 5 hours a day, 5 days a week in a school system that tells him nothing about himself, his purpose, or his reason for being and relating with people. That school system tries to turn him into an economic production cog, which if he follows and does, he becomes someone who produces paperwork and pays for land. Now, who do we pay for the land? What is the foundation of ownership of land? If we own something, we take it everywhere we go with us. And if we own this body, we will take this body when we leave on earth. Evidence has shown that no one owns anything on this level. And the one thing that we do own and we take with us, that we brought with us, is completely ignored by the education, religious, and behavior shaping institution. So a young man is born into society, having to do what somebody said to get paper to pay for his space on the earth, which every creature, including man, is entitled to just because we're born human. So the destruction of ownership and access to land by the slave master, when he came to Grenada, all the men in Grenada were no longer ownership and share a space and respect each other's space on the land to provide for their family. They now have to do what massa say to be able to live on the land. And emancipation 1834, 1838, we are free. After 300 so years, 400 years of slavery, you have no language, but you're free. You have no sense of your culture, but you're free. Your name is not yours, but you're free. You have no land, no money, no economic, no family structure, but you're free. Mm-hmm. And this is a condition for us. As a man, how would you provide for a society? We have one person owning 10,000 acres of land and one person owning nothing. And this is the condition of the illegal laws in Grenada running our society. So a young man born into a poor family, 80%, by the way, of our young men is raised in single parents family, mainly the women. Our men behavior, generally 80% of our men, impregnate the woman and then abandon her when the baby is born or along the way somewhere. And then you have a situation with women, 6 children, no men in the home, and have to provide.
That is something that it really peeves me when I hear people saying a single mother.
A single
parent.
Meaning the destruction of the relationship between the male and female is such that after the sexual act and attraction is done, the responsibility of following through and as a man in the child raising and the life raising process is broken and has been broken deliberately through the elements of slavery. Now the African slave who came to Grenada broken through the ship and whipped in front of his village. Now remember, the strongest man, as an example of breaking the manhood, the strongest man was brought into the village as an example, tired, feathered, put between 2 horses, light a fire, and drove the horses in 2 directions. And the mothers are lining up in the village with their babies in their hand and the little boys by their side, watching this spectacle. What kind of raising would this mother raise her son to be, watching the strongest man being ripped apart, watching the one who's supposed to provide protection, provide a home, provide the space and the sustenance for her to organize to live. When he is ripped apart like this, what do our women look at our men as? What do our men look at ourselves as? Do we follow Massa say and become a good slave and produce and have nothing so we could give our woman what? Massa was feeding the woman as he was at the cost of the plantation. So the man's role in providing was totally broken. The respect, the dignity a man get bringing sustenance home to his family was broken, and is still broken largely. The 20% of the men in society who knows manhood, who face responsibility, who bears the emotional pain and stand there and still support, those 20% are not involved in mentoring the other 80% of our young boys who don't have a manhood picture to mentor. And what has come into the space, the master has provided this decadence, this objectification of our women, seeing them as something to walk on a truck, disrespecting their mother. Because if you look at the role of the feminine, okay, and I know you can always interrupt, the role of the feminine is she takes the 1 sperm the man donates. The role of the man in terms of new life, he donates 1 sperm, hopefully in pleasure. She receives this and donates 1 egg, hopefully in pleasure. But then she goes through a process of 9 months swelling up, going through the physical changes to produce new life within her body, going through the labor of delivering, stretching out and delivering a new form of life onto the earth. Having milk ready to feed this baby changes this baby. The first teacher on your bunks, your toes, mommy you're calling for. And yet, the society we live in, the philosophy of slavery is that the woman is the cause of the problems on the earth. And the sins on the earth is through her behavior.
Yeah,
and
she wants to eat the apple.
Yeah, and she be born in sin because of that. And we have to drink this blood and eat this flesh to redeem ourselves. As a young man born into this and looking at this, then you have a disrespect for your mom. The feminine. And once you disrespect the feminine, you disrespect the earth, you disrespect people, you disrespect everyone. The woman who had the power to hold you and bring you here into this earth, when you disrespect her, when you say you is the head of that, when you say you're the one that did all of that and you're the head of she, then you have a war and a chaos given to us with our family that's continuing today.
So let me ask this. The philosophy that you're exchanging with us there now, where did that come from?
It come from the slave master. The slave master had to break, in order for you to exploit someone economically, you had to break them, their family, their structure, their strength. So the first thing you did when Leopold, for example, went to the Congo, the first thing he did was ask to educate the children. So these innocent pure African adults gave the children to be educated. Those children grew up to be the ones selling Congos and Congolese and Africans into slavery. That's how it's done. You get to the young first. You reprogram their mind, and when they grow up, they will replay whatever you program them to. So you have the role of the feminine be disrespected. You have this concept of man is the head of the house. So you create the war in the home between the male and female by this incorrect principle. Now the man is the head of the community. The man is the head outside the house. You see guys sitting down on the side of the road drinking, it's not accident. Our natural male tendency is to congregate outside in the village and organize the village correctly. We're supposed to provide the house physically, provide the land space, and the woman occupies it and flavors it and populates it with her energy, so that the man comes into the woman's home and enjoys her pleasures that she has created, which he has provided, which he's not the head of. She's the head of the home he has provided. And this complementary relationship has been turned into a war of the sexes to break the family, to keep us economically dependent. Now, our young men in Grenada, born having nothing, seeing the desires, wanting to provide for a young lady, wanting to raise children to be responsible, having no organization with manhood in the community, he goes frustrated, either gets involved in drugs, in crimes, or in some activity to either get money or to attack the system that has broken him as a man. He don't have anything. He's born without nothing.
So in essence, you're saying that could be natural retaliation.
It's a natural retaliation. And our young men, we are populated. Now, before Columbus came here, we had no prisons. Before 1650, Dupac, governor, creating the first slave plantation, we had no prisons in Grenada because we had something called redistributive economy. After you grow up into a manhood and you produce your things, you have excess, you keep some, you bring the rest to the central, and the central, you will receive what you didn't grow, and then you would share with others what you did. There was always too much food. That was the problem with the redistributive economy. The basis of our existence is food on this level, our physical existence. The next thing we had is restorative justice. Of course, we make mistakes. Of course, we hurt people and have accidents. But when that happened, you were brought into the center of the community circle. You were reminded of all the good things you did, all the people you helped, the character you have, the talents you have. And the one thing you did wrong was ignored, minimized, and you rose from that circle, strengthened, reinforced, never to commit that again. And therefore, the society grew in respect and character for each other. What we have since slavery came in, the punitive justice, which never will work for anybody except to create pain, fear, chaos, and destruction. The one thing you do wrong is split up, and you're penalized, your property confiscated, your jail, whatever they need to do to break you. And the one problem you have, mash up your whole goodness. All the goodness you did, all the things you learned, or you create, the people you help is ignored. And the one bad you did is destroys you. That is the current justice we have. And we are practicing this slavery against our people. Now, no one listening to this conversation was alive in 1650 and created the wickedness we live under. We are now, because we're born into it, because we're taught not to question it. And by the way, don't question the one that knows everything. The one that has created and knows all of this, beating your heart, don't question it. Just listen to the slave master and the slave book and do what they say to continue slavery. That's the model we're born into. Now, a young man trying to break this, who doesn't know who he really is and why he exists, who doesn't know how men supposed to be, how women supposed to be, how relationship, how nation, how community, a young man who don't know this but feeling the pain of frustration of not having, he would react in ways we see now that is unpleasant. And by the way, authority, his authority was his power to provide sustenance to his family. That was his connection to the earth, and his respect was earned by his ability to provide for his community. That was broken by slavery. And this breaking is yet to be recovered. The authority we had was the whip. We were beaten on the plantations into submission for the master and his work. And therefore, when it comes to our women, we have no authority for provision, so we have to assert our dominance by beating her in the house into submission.
Physical dominance.
Psychological. And right now it's more psychological because we've cultivated ourselves. So we have now the competition between the male and female for economy. And the purpose of our life being money. Oh God, I'm chatting with young men who are looking at the situation they're in, looking at their parents getting elderly, looking at what it will take to earn, to pay for a house, to buy land in this condition in Grenada, born, studying, working in Grenada. They're so frustrated. They're watching this and thinking, what shall we do? and of obviously the gangs and all the decadent information through the internet is coming to them. The source of themselves as a beater of their heart, the connection with infinity and their purpose for being alive is never taught. And this knowledge is between 0 and puberty. In particular, between 7 and 14 years, a young man, and I'm focusing on the men, it's same for women too, but the young man is supposed to experience the infinite presence here as who they truly are, so they know psychologically how to organize their mind, organize their body, and how to relate correctly with everything and everyone. This knowledge is never taught. In the slave master institutions, everywhere that speak this language, everywhere you buy and sell food, the slave master language, they never teach you the most important knowledge, because they cannot teach you or facilitate you having the most important knowledge and enslave you. We cannot be shooting each other for free and buying and selling food unless there's a complete corruption of the psyche of the human mind. So our people are completely corrupted, believing that they're free. And that is the biggest achievement of slavery in 2026, brother. We are speaking the slave master language. His illegalities in our laws, his devil is in our churches, his illegal in the medicine is an exploitation for your health. The government is practicing the wickedness against our people. They didn't create, they inherit. They create a document greater than us over our heads called Constitution that they write to free us. That is our biggest chain, so that your heartbeat and the book in your chest is no authority, but what the master has written and put over your head as Constitution is your authority. And that says you own land. That says you buy food. It's a criminal. The first crime we were forced to commit is to buy and sell food. As a little child with 10 cents going to the shop to buy a sweetie, they're charming you into the first crime that was brought introduced in Grenada, the buying and selling of food. And upon that, you have to do what they say to get the money to pay for the food, otherwise you have nothing. You can't grow your own, you have no land. They own it. What Crown own it, right? They came here, kill the Kalanago, stick a flag, and say, we own this place now. You have nothing, right? And this is practiced by us today against ourselves, against our people.
Question here, how you've identified the root causes and so forth. How do we get back to that original alignment, if you want to call it that, to our real being?
It's going to be a massive psychological smashing of the institutions in our mind. And it's going to be, we're going to do it all together or not at all. We were all beaten into slavery together. And we must all step out with knowledge. The first thing we need to do is to share the vision of knowing who I am and why I exist. And for the females, the pain, physical pain, has forced females to be more in tune with the divine nature. Because the pain of childbirth, etc., pain forces you to either react or to search for an answer and solution, resolution. If our young men feeling the pain of manhood now and not to use that pain to go inward, to find the source of who they truly are and why they exist, to see the role, and you could refer to the ancient societies for guidance, but the guidance is right here. We know what it means to be a man in a male form, as a woman knows. And because we don't have this natural pain, in the past, circumcision rituals were used to give us the pain, to force us to understand manhood and the pain that is involved being on the physical level. Of course there's pleasure, but there's a pain. So our women are more in tune because of the pain of natural childbirth, that it tunes them in with life. That's why a woman can raise 6 children with no man. She finds a way. She finds a way to sustain it. And it's a miraculously.
Yeah, miraculously.
Yet some people will look at that and say it's sin. The most miraculous thing to happen to a man or to you is the day you were born. I don't know if you ever experienced childbirth live or maybe.
Yeah, yes.
Have you seen anything more miraculous than a child coming to this world?
It creates that sort of bond. Yeah, it brings you back to nature. It's the most natural thing. And having said that, fathers out there or male sperm donors out there who do not interact and spend that quality time with your children, you don't know what you're missing.
From childbirth.
Watching them born, the mom delivering them, and watching them grow. You're missing the passion of standing up over the crib in the night and watch them grow. You can see them grow the inches. That first hug that you get. But how do People are missing out so much.
So much, our young men, because our young men are not socialized into respecting the woman as the port that brought you onto this planet. We've been taught to disrespect her in all ways. She's the cause of all the sin and the problem on the planet.
No, what you're saying.
Can you imagine?
Listen, I mean, I know there are some folks out there that might be saying, well, what kind of program Innocent having this morning?
Well, this is going to be an upsetting program.
This is facts, eh?
This is facts.
This is
going to
facts.
hurt.
So let me tell you this. I was a perpetrator as it relates to domestic violence. Not in the big way, but
understand.
And it is something that I will go to my grave regretting. I went and I got myself sorted out because I knew deep inside I hated it. But as you said, when we realized that we lost that power in our manhood, in doing what we're supposed to do,
yes,
and the woman is showing it up to show that man is boss, you use your physical strength. I fell for that trap. All right?
Not you alone.
But thanks to, the wonderful folks like Mr. Shane Joseph and Tyrone Buckmeyer and so forth to walk me back through the years and was able to identify where it went wrong. And now, this is serious stuff.
We're going to speak more about a solution, and this is exactly what we need.
This is serious stuff.
Very serious stuff.
Because, I mean, and I'm educated. I'm educated in the so-called certification kind of thing. What's about the young men out there who do not have that, did not have a loving, caring grandmother nurturing you, that brought you up in such a way that you know that there's a connectivity that you should have with the Creator and so forth. These young men, and especially in my time growing up, there wasn't the internet to permeate my head with all this kind of, Western culture and gangster stuff and so forth. What's about these young men now?
They're filling up the jails, which was built for 100, now it's almost 400. That's what happened to our young men. They're frustrated on the side of the road. They're walking on crack, eating from bins. The young men are probably isolated in their little pressure zones. They're gambling on the side, encouraged by this national gambling move, and they're stabbing each other when they lose the little that they have. And our young men are directly lost. The first thing we need to do is to feel this pain of this conversation and this revelation that our society structure is to make our men criminal, emasculate them, put them in conflict with the home, a disrespect for the wife and the woman and the feminine. In the same way we disrespect our woman, we disrespect the earth. And I don't want to go into that direction, but just to say that there are evidence that the destruction that was done in Las Vegas, Liverpool, and Manhattan, the residents around there feel the direct physical effects. Some of them lose limb, some of them increase in diseases that they never had or never thought they would have. As a result, we have broken relationships. We have destruction on a social level. We have accidents. We have increase in homicides and suicides because we are hurting our Mother Earth. And we don't see the connection between the divine feminine earth and the divine feminine our mothers,
now,
our sisters.
That's to cut you. There are folks who are trying to get into on the conversation.
Can we talk next week?
Yeah,
because we want to open up this wound today.
Yeah, and we're running out of time. We have to.
We haven't scratched the surface.
Yeah,
we'll have to come back. I apologize.
It's so important, right? I mean, there will be varying philosophies and interpretations. And,
we need the truth now. We no longer need a ism. We no longer need a belief or a system of concept or philosophy. We need the truth of manhood now.
Let me ask you this. I know that you're big on the motherland, Africa, and so forth. What is Africa like as it relates to the things that you just said? The native Africans. How do they operate?
Africa is broken. Africa is also broken. Africa, though the people remain connected to the land, maybe Africa might be more broken in some instances than the Caribbean, especially if you have resources, because the corruption of your people continues. The corruption of money to buy food, money for medical care, money for housing, money for education and employment. These 5 necessities are supposed to be freely available, and money is supposed to control and regulate our luxuries. The things we don't need, the bling and the fling and the fancy things, money is supposed to control that. And something called love, understanding why we should care for each other, supposed to regulate necessities. so that a person receives their home, their food, their medical care, their education, their employment as a natural part of being human in a society that uses love to regulate these. And they will have so much free time for necessities. We will all choose a different set of for luxuries. We'll have so much free time, but that is broken.
Yeah.
And we have money on necessities.
One question, because we're out of time.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Brenda says, very interesting program. Please like and share. And we promise that we'll continue it. There's a song, The Day the Dollar Die.
Yes.
You know that song?
Yes.
I think it was
Peter Tosh.
Peter Tosh.
Yeah, the day the dollar died on our necessities. Now, before Columbus came to Grenada, let's just focus on Grenada. We used to have shells and later printed metal for money, for the luxuries. They sold and bought, I think I mentioned this once before, they sold and bought objects like tools. There was shell tools, stone tools, wood tools, bowls, etc. Stools, special new carvings, tables and ornaments were made from tools, and this was traded, bartered and sold with their system of money. But necessities, food, housing was never bought or sold. After manhood training, you come back from manhood training, your plot of land was shown, your house was built on your plot of land that your father showed you.
The 21
the community,
trees.
The 21 trees,
Right.
Your house was built, your farm was set up, your wife was chosen, etc. Your marriage was done, and you was respected as a man in society, contributing your skill, because you could have been like a builder skill or a canoe skill or whatever skill you had. And this was respected, and you were honored as a master eventually in your skill. This has been taken away, and you're now a slave, and you're turned into a stud to breed women, if you're lucky, or you're beaten into working in the fields, right? Or you turn to a betrayal to serve master in your house and betray your fellow slaves. These were the roles men took on rather than being the safe space providers.
Mr. Amen, we have to end here. Before we go, Lucille Pascal says, thanks for the program, very deep. Please have this gentleman back. You will be back.
Yeah,
But thank you for sharing this morning.
Yeah.
And we look forward to episode 2.
Which will be about the healing. Yeah. This is the one we open it up and we can continue talking about it. And we're asking men, please, it's time for us to step up now to save our young men. And it's a global issue, by the way, although we're talking Grenada.
Yeah.
So our manhood needs reaffirming, our respect for our womanhood needs reaffirming. Thank you, brother.
Amen. Thank you very much, folks. That's it for the conversation. Thank you. I promise you that we'll have a continuation of this program. Very interesting.
We'll take some calls.
Yeah. Bye-bye. That's it for the conversation this morning.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever you ride me, we'll make your dreams come true. Next time, next time, next time, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the BBC News at 1. A body has been found in the search for a teenager missing in a lake in Cheshire. He is the 8th person to have died in a water-related incident in England and Wales during this week's heatwave. Emergency services have renewed warnings about the dangers of open water swimming. Our correspondent Lauren Moss is at Pickmere Lake in Cheshire. Lauren, this news in the last couple of hours.
Yes, Nina, very sad news this lunchtime as Cheshire Police confirmed just a short time ago that the body of a teenage boy had been found in Pickmere Lake beyond the police cordon behind me. A 17-year-old went into the water yesterday afternoon and there was a huge operation to try and find him and save him involving the police helicopter, Cheshire Fire and Rescue and underwater search teams. And his death, like you said, does take the number of deaths of people who have died in separate open water incidents since Sunday to 8. There have been incidents in West and South Yorkshire, Lincolnshire, Lancashire, Warwickshire and here in Cheshire. 6 teenagers, a man in his 60s and it's been confirmed as well in the last hour a 72-year-old woman in Wales. So, along with the hot weather warnings during this heat wave is also the very serious warning about the dangers of open water. And authorities want people to enjoy the weather, but they want them to do so safely to avoid any more tragedies like we've seen here this spring and later on into the summer.
Another beauty spot with hidden dangers. Police recovered the body of a 12-year-old boy from the River Ribble in Ribchester, Lancashire, yesterday evening. Alongside the hot weather has come more warnings about the dangers of open water. There have been several deaths in separate incidents since Sunday.
From the second he was born, I just knew he was going to be somebody special.
Dylan Ramsey was just 13 when he died swimming in a quarry near Chorley in 2011.
I just never knew it was going to be like this. I never knew he was going to make an impact in the world by not being here. I think one of the hardest things really for my kids were they didn't just lose a brother, did they? They lost everything. They lost everyone. Lost everyone. They lost the mum, they lost the dad. They lost the granny, the granddad, the aunties, the uncles. None of us are the same anymore.
Dylan's mother, Becky, has spent the last 15 years raising awareness about the risks of open water, and from this September, children in England will learn about it in school.
The day after Dylan died, I literally begged the government to teach water safety in schools because I know that had Dylan been taught what to do in that situation, I wouldn't be living this life.
Open water may look very tempting on hot sunny days, but there are very real dangers. The first one being the temperature. The water can be very cold and send the body into shock. Another one is fast moving underwater currents that you might not be able to see, and dangers beneath the surface too, with possible debris and not knowing exactly how deep the water is.
If people find themselves in cold water, they should float to live. So lie on your back with your head back, ears submerged, use your arms and legs to steady yourself and just wait to acclimatise to that temperature, for your breathing to settle, and then you can shout for help or swim to safety.
With the hot weather continuing this month and likely over the summer too, families and children are urged to take care. Lauren Moss, BBC News.
Another news this lunchtime. The energy price cap will increase by 13% from July, meaning millions of households across England, Scotland and Wales will have to pay more for their gas and electricity. The changes don't apply to fixed deals and will see an average household bill go up by £18 a month. Our cost of living correspondent Kevin Peachy reports.
Oh, lovely, aren't they, those panels?
Looking up to keep energy costs down. Julie qualifies for these free solar panels because of where she lives and how much she earns. After years of doing all she can to keep warm,
I don't always heat the home, I heat the person.
She's now finally feeling more upbeat about getting through winters.
Last winter was so cold, yeah, it was. I know I've got, double glazing and everything, but, it's still a bit cold in these old terraced houses. So I'm really, really looking forward to a cosy winter when the solar panels are going to help me, generate some power so I can keep warm.
This new system is going into Julie's place in Derby just as energy prices are set to jump sharply. Under July's new price cap, a household will pay £1,862 a year if it uses a typical amount of gas and electricity. That's a £221 a year increase. But to work out your own specific bill, add 13% or £13 for every £100 spent each year if you're on a variable tariff. What's pushing up energy prices in homes like this across the country isn't what's happening here, but what's happening thousands of miles away in the Middle East. But the danger, the likelihood even, is that these high energy bills are set to last well into the winter.
This is an increase in the cap. So there's around 4 out of 10 households are on fixed deals, so they'll be unaffected by today's announcement at the moment. And clearly there are opportunities for people to try and save money and shop around.
Everybody needs to look at the behaviours.
Experts say doing more now will help in the months ahead.
Look here, you can just turn this down a little bit. That's going to save you some money. Turn it down a bit more if you're not going to be in the room. Picking up these at a DIY store, very simple, very low cost. Bleeding your radiators, a short shower timer, insulating the drafts out, dead easy. Everybody can do it. Everybody can save money every single day.
People nearby in Derby say rising bills are a worry.
Obviously we've got the mortgage, then we've got the energy, then we've got council tax, water rates, everything like that. But yeah,
all adds
energy
up.
is literally the second biggest bill that we've got.
I think it's the uncertainty that gets people worrying, but yeah, it's a concern. And I work with in an industry with elderly people, and I can see why they'd be sitting there worried about coming into the winter.
Ministers say targeted support is being prepared if prices stay high into the winter.
We will keep looking at what steps we can take and what steps we may need to take to support households if this crisis continues, if we don't manage to get what we need to get, which is a de-escalation of the conflict, the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz and oil and gas being able to flow through that strait.
Energy prices are going up in the short term. Whether and when they come back down again depends mostly on distant events, proving difficult to predict. Kevin Peachy, BBC News in Derby.
So Tony Blair has accused the government of having no coherent plan for the country. In his first in-depth critique of Sir Keir Starmer's leadership, the former Prime Minister said a serious country can't keep changing leaders and that policy should come before politics. Our political correspondent Nick Eardley has this report.
Sir Tony Blair is Labour's most successful leader. He won 3 general elections and was Prime Minister for a decade. Today, he has a stark message for his party, that the government needs to do more and that the politicians who want Sir Keir Starmer's job need bigger ideas.
You can have a different personality occupying number 10, but unless you have a policy agenda which makes sense of the way the world's changing, then you're not going to be any further forward as a country. And you'll find the country keeps shuffling the deck with prime ministers. OK, let's try this one. That didn't work. Let's try that one. And we'll carry on doing that unless we have a serious debate about how the country's changing.
Sir Tony argues ministers should be focusing more on what he called the AI revolution and governing from what he describes as the radical centre. That would involve bringing down welfare costs, getting rid of the triple lock on pensions and a different approach to tax and spend.
At some point, you've got to be able to stand up and have an honest debate with the public, which is to say, look, ultimately, we're probably taxing people too much, spending too much, borrowing too much at the moment. If we carry on like this, with these large increases in incapacity benefit, with the triple lock on pensions, we're going to create a situation where economically we're not able to grow because we've put such a weight affecting growth on the back of our economy.
Sir Tony Blair is a major figure in Labour's history, and there are some in the party now who will agree with some of what he says. Airing these views so publicly today could help influence the debate Labour's having about its future. But there are also plenty in Parliament and elsewhere who have very little time for the former Prime Minister. One said that his intervention today was unhelpful. Another went further, calling his legacy poisonous. There are big questions about Labour's future. Who will lead it? Will the party move to the left? Sir Tony says that would be a mistake and the best approach would be governing from the centre.
There are a lot of things that this government is doing, focusing on the problems that we need to fix now. And I understand some of the points that Tony Blair's making. I respect his contribution. But this government, myself as one of the ministers in the government, our focus is to get on with the job to make sure we can change things for the better for people in this country.
Don't expect Sir Tony's intervention today to be embraced by everyone in the Labour Party. But it might give some pause for thought at a time when Labour's future is very much
on people's minds. Nick Early, BBC News, Westminster.
What does that future look like is the big question being asked around here. Labour's in the eye of a political storm just now. Sir Keir Starmer hasn't faced a leadership challenge, but most people expect there to be one. I think one of the challenges for Sir Tony's ideas is a lot of the things he's talking about are pretty unpopular in the Labour Party. The idea of scrapping the triple lock. Any politician who's tried that in the last few years will tell you it's nearly politically impossible. Spending and taxing less. Well, this government has done the opposite. What about rethinking net zero targets during the cost of living challenges? Well, the government has said consistently it's not prepared to do that. It thinks you get lower prices by ensuring a domestic supply through renewable energy. So there are big ideas there today, Nina. There are people in the Labour Party who will read that essay and recognise a lot of what Sir Tony is talking about, particularly that idea of bold visions from the radical centre. But partly because of the policy he's suggesting being difficult, partly because of his personality and the fact that some of the Labour Party will just switch off when they hear Tony Blair, I think the impact of that intervention today may be limited.
OK. Nick, in Westminster, thank you. The commander of the military wing of Hamas has been killed in a strike on the Gaza Strip days after his predecessor died in a similar attack. At least 4 others were killed and around 20 were injured in the attack, which hit a residential building in one of Gaza City's busiest market areas. Our Middle East correspondent Yolan Nell joins us this lunchtime from Jerusalem. Hi, Yolan. So what's the significance of this latest attack?
Hi there. Well, he is the latest in a long list of Hamas leaders to have been targeted by Israel since the start of the Gaza war. And it's meant really to send a strong message. Israel's Defense Minister, Israel Katz, said that Israel had pledged to eliminate all the Hamas leaders who were behind the deadly 7th of October attacks on Israel back in 2023. And he said it pledged as well that Hamas will not hold civilian or military rule in Gaza. The funeral of this man, Mohammed Oda, has just taken place. He was killed in his apartment in Gaza City, along with his wife and 2 of his sons. He was formerly the intelligence head of Hamas, but had just been chosen a few days ago, we understand, to become the leader of the Hamas military wing overall. This is all happening at a really critical time when Israel and Hamas, they've been having these indirect talks on how to advance the US brokered peace plan for Gaza, and they have really been deadlocked. And what the US-led Board of Peace is insisting is that Hamas must give up its weapons if there is to be an Israeli troop withdrawal from Gaza and if there is to be reconstruction there ultimately.
OK, Yolan, in Jerusalem, thank you. Time is 1:15. Our top story this afternoon. The body of a missing teenager is recovered from a lake in Cheshire, the 8th water-related death in England and Wales over this week's heatwave. Coming up, NASA unveils plans to build a permanent base on the moon, but will it be ready by 2032? We find out later.
Coming up on BBC News, Nuno is kept on by West Ham despite their relegation from the Premier League, with the club saying they want him to continue the progress seen since his appointment.
The criminal investigation into the Post Office Horizon IT scandal could be delayed by 5 years unless it receives millions of pounds of extra funding. That's the warning from the commander leading the National Police inquiry. More than 900 people were prosecuted in the scandal between 1999 and 2015. It's been called the UK's most widespread miscarriage of justice. Our business correspondent Emma Simpson reports.
They broke me. They ruined me. 22 odd years. Lost. Never going to get that time back.
Parmod Kalia died earlier this year. He was one of hundreds wrongly convicted and never saw his full compensation or justice being delivered. Behind the scenes, the police continue to investigate potential criminal activity by those responsible for what's widely believed to be the worst miscarriage of justice in the UK. Now the commander in charge has told victims there could be as much as a 5-year delay in potential charges being brought because of a lack of funding. Former sub-postmaster Lee Castleton, made bankrupt by the post office, says the government should pay police what's needed to finish the job and less on legal fees.
They're paying millions, hundreds of millions of pounds to lawyers to fight cases, to fight against the victims. They're funding lawyers fighting all aspects of this. They're funding PR companies going forward to make themselves look good. Stop all of that and just do the right thing at the right time in the right way.
The police investigation started in 2020, called Operation Olympus, run by the Met. It became a national investigation in November 24 with a 100-strong team, as the public inquiry into the scandal heard its final evidence. Police had already told victims any trials weren't likely before 2028, but now the wait could be even longer, potentially 2033. The bulk of this investigation is funded by individual police forces, but it also relies on grants from the Home Office. £2.8 million has been received for this financial year, but the commander in charge, Stephen Clayman, says he needs to add nearly 100 extra officers if they're going to meet even their current timelines, and this requires a budget of £19 million. Detectives are grappling with millions of documents in what they describe as a hugely complex inquiry. A government spokesperson said the scandal was an appalling injustice and that it was considering requests for further funding. Emma Simpson, BBC News.
More than 52,000 people have responded to a call for evidence on student loans and the taxation of graduates. That's one of the highest response rates to a select committee inquiry ever recorded. The Treasury Committee is looking at all student loan plans in England and whether repayment terms are reasonable. Our education reporter Vanessa Clark joins me this lunchtime. It's interesting that there's been such a high uptake of responses, isn't there? So what's the inquiry found so far?
Well, yeah, as part of it, it asked anyone over the age of 16 who might have been impacted by this to share their experiences. And the response, 52,000 people, has, I think, really shown the strength of feeling towards this and the amount of people that are affected by it. So most people really said they didn't understand the terms and conditions of the student loan once they took it out, and also that they wouldn't take it out again if they had the information that they have now, that they would have made a very different choice. What the inquiry also released today, interestingly, is information about information that they were given by the government in presentations, really prospective students, on what it might look like to get a student loan. So, and part of these presentations showed that, you know, if you're repaying £15 a month, that might be the same as a mobile phone contract, or might be the same as going to the cinema. And there's questions over the clarity of this, actually. You know, was it really showing that repayments would definitely go up over time and how much they would be paying back? You know, one former student said they were told repayments would be barely noticeable, but they're now paying hundreds of pounds a month off. And the chair of the Treasury Committee, Dame Meg Hillier, said they'll be looking at all of this and they will be making recommendations for change later this year.
Because it does form quite a big part of your adult financial life if you've taken out one of these loans, doesn't it? And just remind us then how it came about, what the background to the inquiry is.
Yeah, so it's been rumbling for a while, and it's particularly these Plan 2 loans, which were the loans that were released after tuition fees went up to 9,000. You know, many students needed much bigger loans, and campaigners say they want a few things looked at. So interest rates, the amount you're paying back, but also the threshold, so that point in your salary where suddenly you have to start paying student loans back. Back in November, the government did look at this, but they froze the threshold for 3 years, and campaigners weren't happy with this because it brings more people into that bracket and people will be paying more off. But the government in April did look at interest rates on some student loans in England, and they capped them at 6% just because of rising inflations and, you know, the risk because of the war in Iran. So they are aware of the situation. there are some solutions coming up. So the National Union of Students and HEPI came together and they have proposed a more stepped repayment system. So instead of just repaying 9% once you hit the threshold, a more stepped approach. But there is a lot happening in this area at the moment. So it'll be really interesting to see what the Treasury Committee come back with, what their recommendations are, and actually if the government go forward with any of them.
Yeah, we'll see what the inquiry concludes. Vanessa, thank you. Now, around 1 in 100 firefighters are tackling a major blaze at a supermarket beneath a block of flats in northwest London. Footage on social media showed thick smoke rising from the area around a Jewish food shop in Golders Green. The cause of the fire isn't known, but is not believed to be suspicious. Last year saw the lowest number of births in England and Wales since the 1970s. Figures published by the ONS show there were 585,000 live births recorded in 2025. That's down by 10,000 on the year before, and the lowest since 1977. Women are having their first child later than ever before, the average age of 29.6 years old. Italy's highest court has ruled a hotel acted lawfully when it refused to provide a tourist with a free water tap. The woman unsuccessfully argued that water is a natural resource and a universal human right after she was offered a £6 bottle of water at a 5-star ski resort. Licensed venues in England and Wales are legally required to serve free drinking water. Now, robotic landers, hopping drones and nuclear power, just some of the details that NASA has revealed for its planned permanent base on the moon. The US Space Agency is competing with China to return humans to the lunar surface and establish their base within 6 years. Our science correspondent Palab Ghosh looks at the astronomical scale of the challenge.
And liftoff.
Last month, 4 astronauts looped around the moon.
The moon is so bright, it's just...
The first step, not just to send people back to the lunar surface, but to build a base for a permanent human settlement.
Just so visually captivating.
Today, we heard details of the first 3 robotic missions to build a lunar base, possibly launched by the end of this year. Moonbase 1 will be the first privately funded lander to reach the lunar South Pole. Moonbase 2 will deliver a record half-ton of equipment that might one day support astronauts driving around a lunar base. Moonbase 3 will focus on pure science.
The grand return is close at hand, and we will not slow down. We are moving with the competence and the purpose to accomplish the missions that only NASA is capable of achieving, and we are really just getting started.
NASA has a 3-step plan for its lunar base. Step 1 is to send dozens of rovers and lunar landers to find the ideal spot. Step 2 is to build small cabins for short duration missions of just a few weeks. Now, step 3 is to build larger buildings sustained by nuclear power for a long-term presence. Now, if all of this seems like science fiction, you're not alone.
There is a lot to do before then. There is technology to demonstrate. There are landers to land, rovers to develop spaces. All of these things have to happen. And I'm looking forward to seeing Artemis 3 next year take the first step. Clearly, there are ambitious plans, but there's lots to do before then.
NASA's aim is to send astronauts back to the lunar surface by 2028, a timetable independent experts think is too ambitious. But going to the moon has always been about raising the human spirit by doing things not because they're easy, but because they are hard. Palab Ghosh, BBC News.
And don't we enjoy watching? Now, what does a trip to the British seaside mean to you? Sun, sand, ice cream, maybe a wander along the prom or collecting coppers in the arcade penny pusher. Well, for a long time, a donkey ride on the beach was a big part of the postcard picture, but animal welfare concerns mean that's now looking like something from a bygone era. Our reporter Fiona Lambden has more.
For decades, the sight of donkeys plodding patiently across Britain's beaches has been as much part of the seaside as fish and chips, striped deck chairs and seagulls stealing your sandwiches.
But some councils have decided that the traditional donkey ride may no longer have a place on the sand. And here on Coney Beach in Porthcawl, they've said the donkeys have to go.
Jay Bateman's family has run donkey rides here for more than a century.
I've done the donkey rides at Coney Beach for the last 35 years all my life. And my mum's done it for the last 55 years, and my dad's side of the family has done it since 1920. And it's since now it's come to an end, just an abrupt end. Maybe my life, be a part of the family. So you treat them like one of the children, you know.
I'll be gutted not going back to the beach. It's a big, big part of my life, you know. I'm coming here in the morning and tacking them up, taking them down and bringing them back. It's something that I really enjoy, and it's something that the animals really enjoy as well. They've always got their ears perked, they're always happy. They're my whole heart.
Kids look forward to it, and they've always been here, and now they've taken it all away. So what's the kids going to do?
Some people say it's cruel to the donkeys, but they seem to be well looked after as far as I can see.
Yeah.
I'm not a big advocate for animals being used for sport or business of any kind.
Part of Porthcawl, isn't it? Part of every sea resort. The fair, the donkeys, the donuts, people sunbathing, getting burnt.
Bridgend County Borough Council says the move is part of new restrictions preventing animals from being used or exercised on Coney Beach between May and September. Here in Devon, the Donkey Sanctuary cares for more than 240 animals, including Brian. They're worried the welfare of the UK's working donkeys is being neglected.
It's always difficult to use donkeys for tourism because maintaining their welfare in the variety of situations in which they might be used is really difficult. Are they being well cared for away from that centre of tourism where they're being used? Are they getting the right veterinary care, the right feed and diet?
There are still a handful of beaches across Britain where children can still enjoy a donkey ride. But for Jay's donkeys, who've carried generations of children along the beach, for them, the great British seaside tradition seems to be heading quietly into the sunset. Fiona Lambdin, BBC News.
Oh, end of an era in Porthcawl. A reminder of our top headline this afternoon. The body of a missing teenager is recovered from a lake in Cheshire, the 8th water-related death in England and Wales over this week's heatwave. Coming up, we'll hear about the new Russell T Davies drama, Tiptoe. It looks at warring neighbours and homophobia. As ever, we'll have a full forecast in the next half hour, but time for a quick look at the weather today with Louise, who loves her garden, so I'm thinking is hoping for some rain soon.
Yes, I am. But I have enjoyed this sunshine that we've had, despite it being a little bit too hot. It's been a record-breaking weekend, hasn't it? Both day and night. And last night we broke the record again for the warmest May night in Camborne, 21.4 degrees. And just contrast that with what was happening in Highland, Scotland, in Loch Lascarnock. Only 1 degree first thing this morning. There are some subtle changes in the forecast as we speak. Oops, I missed that. I'll just come back to that in just a moment. But there is an area of high pressure that's drifting its way steadily eastwards, and that is going to introduce something a little bit cooler and fresher. And you can see that if I finally get to that forecast for you, we've actually got temperatures in Newcastle just into the mid-teens, but further south and west, that's where the sunshine and the heat is.
Welcome to the Shopping Guide, the place where you can find the best products and services in Grenada.
That's located at number 3 NIS Complex, specializes in everything for your children from newly born and upward. At Kids Planet, you will find clothing, school bags, hair accessories, sandals, shoes, strollers, car seats, bathtubs, baby bags, swings, walkers, playpens, and many more. So what are you waiting for? Hurry on down to Kids Planet and find what you have been looking for. Or call them on 444-3996 or 533-3996.
Sunrise Diagnostic Center is the place to visit for your medical laboratory test, ultrasound, X-ray, mammogram, ECG, and ultrasound guided and bone density test. Also available are COVID PCR and antigen tests. Most results are available within 24 hours. Sunrise Diagnostic Center is located at number 9 NS Building, Melville Street, St. George's, with sub-offices in Grand Anse, Wall Street, and Grenville, St. Andrew. Visit Sunrise Diagnostic Center today at any of their offices or call 440-3709 or cell phone 415-9522.
Your life is yours, your future's in your hands, your body is yours, that's why you need a plan. You gotta plan your family, avoid HIV, get the education from the Grenada Planned Parenthood Association.
We offer STI screening, gender-based violence counseling, prenatal and postnatal checks, injectables, condoms, pap smears, and other sexual reproductive services. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Pointe Street, St. George's. Whether male or female, it doesn't matter. We're here to make your life better.
Grenada Planned Parenthood Association.
For appointments, call 440-3341.
Are you a small business and would like your business to grow? Do you have an event, products, or services that people should know about? Be wise. Advertise. Book your spot on GBN Shopping Guide. Be part of Grenada's biggest advertising medium, the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Call our sales department now on 440-2446 or 440-3033 or GBN plus the number sign. Email us at sales@gbn.gd. Special conditions apply.
Ooh, the heat of the tunnel. Listen now, let's all the boy Blaze and Shuffle like a reason. On our list the 30th of May, it's all about GBN, Maggie, King of the Grill. This year, we are the junior segment. Yeah, and all you know the regular thing. Ooh, heat in the place, a lot of flavor. All you go see real smoke, real thing. Make sure you come on Monrouge playing field, 30th of May. Ay, baby. And this up? So when you come out, then we have a time, eat some chicken, eat some pork, and enjoy yourself. GBN, Maggie, King of the Grill. I'm out.
Fire up the coals, bring the flavor. It's time to crown the King of the Grill. Maggie King of the Grill 2026 is calling you. Think you got the creativity, the skills, and the fire to rule the grill? This is the ultimate showdown for chefs, backyard masters, and the food lovers alike. Step up, show your talent, and claim your spot among the best. With over $5,000 in cash and prizes to be won. The stakes has never been hotter. Happening Saturday, May the 30th. Register now. Call or WhatsApp 407-8458.
Maggie King of the Grill is powered by Maggie, enhancing your flavors. Rubis, Blue Bubbles Tent and Rentals, Grenada Paper Products, Granville Credit Union, Flow, Budget Foods, My Finance Grenada, Carib Breweries, Ride Go Grenada, Glenelg Spring Water, and Grenada Bottling Company Limited. Maggie King of the Grill and Food Festival, where flavor meets fire.
it's made. Plastic bottles and jars. Containment is the operative word. Mail. You know how it's made. We'll show you how it's sorted. Eggs. It's just one big shell game. And handcrafted wooden pens, the making of a signature product. Whether you're buying apple juice or peanut butter, you've probably noticed that fewer products come in glass containers these days, and that more and more items come in plastic packaging. Plastic bottles and jars are lighter to carry and leave no shards of glass to clean up if you drop your grocery bag. Many transparent bottles and jars are made from a type of plastic called polyethylene terephthalate, or PET. An automated mixer combines PET pellets with flakes of recycled PET. Reprocessed plastic loses some of its physical properties, so the recycled content can't exceed 10%. The PET drops from the mixer into a plastic injection machine that heats it to a piping 315 degrees Celsius. The dry raw material melts into thick and gooey liquid plastic. The machine then shoots it at high pressure into a mold. This plastic injection molding process casts pieces of plastic called preforms, starter shapes that subsequent machines will transform into bottles or jars. The molded preforms harden almost instantly, thanks to a built-in cooling system. These preforms are now on their way to becoming single-serving juice bottles. This is another plastic injection molding machine. It uses the same method to make preforms for a different model, 1.5 to 2 liter bottles. The preform's next stop is a machine called a reheat stretch blow molder. In a matter of seconds, it heats each preform just enough to make the plastic malleable, then inserts a rod to stretch the preform lengthwise, while at the same time blowing in air at extreme high pressure. This forces the preform into a bottle-shaped mold. Cold water circulates within the mold to cool and set the plastic almost instantly. This lightning-fast machine churns out 10,600 bottles per hour. No wonder we've had to show it to you in slow motion. A conveyor belt transports the finished bottles to the packaging area. Before blow molding, the preforms for certain models first pass through an oven. A technician sets the heat level of each infrared oven lamp individually, applying more or less heat at various points to influence the thickness and shaping of the plastic. From the oven, the preforms go into another reheat stretch blow molder that transforms them into peanut jars. It's the same process for this peanut butter jar. After molding, the machine instantly cools the plastic, locking in the shape. The factory pulls samples off the line at regular intervals for quality control testing. Technicians measure the thickness of the plastic and perform a compression test to gauge its strength. They verify the sample's dimensions and capacity. They also evaluate resistance to vacuum pressure because containers are often vacuum sealed after filling. Some models must also be strong enough to resist the pressure of their contents, carbonated soft drinks, for instance. The recycled material used in making these bottles and jars doesn't come from used plastic containers. For hygienic reasons, the factory recycles only new plastic left over from its manufacturing process. The finished containers, of course, are fully recyclable. They're typically reprocessed into other plastic products or into products that contain some plastic. What do the letters F, D, I, O, Q, and U have in common? Besides appearing together on eye charts, those are the only letters you'll never see in a Canadian postal code. They are too similar to some other letters and would confuse the machines that sort our mail. The trucks unload the containers they picked up from postal outlets and the bags of mail they collected from public mailboxes. The containers go straight to automated sorting because the contents have already been classified by size. Not so for the bags. Postal workers empty them and put standard size envelopes on a conveyor belt leading to one sorting machine, and large envelopes into a bin destined for another. The standard size letters travel to a high-speed, high-tech machine that first checks for postage. Stamps contain an invisible fluorescent material that illuminates under ultraviolet light. The machine's UV sensor scans both sides of every envelope. No glow, no go. Letters with postage are cancelled with a postmark so the stamps can't be reused. The postmark contains the date, the country, and the sorting plant's postal code. Next stop, a machine called the Multi-Line Optical Character Reader, an impressive piece of equipment that processes up to 30,000 letters per hour. It reads and digitally photographs each destination address, matching it to the computer's address database. Then it prints the postal code in barcode format on the front of the envelope. A scanner now reads the barcodes and does a preliminary sorting. Local and regional mail stay here and move on to the next sorting machine for a more detailed breakdown, while letters addressed to other provinces go to postal plants there, where they're sorted further. But what happens when all this sophisticated technology just can't make out the address due to, say, sloppy handwriting or smudged ink? The optical character reader machine puts the letter on hold and sends the address photo to the video encoding system. A postal worker deciphers the writing and types in the postal code, sending the letter back into the sorting system. Now the local and regional mail goes through what's called the BCS, the barcode sorter. This performs a more detailed sorting by postal route. The machine scans the barcodes at a rate of 30,000 letters per hour, sending the mail to the corresponding letter carrier's bin. A worker preps the mail for each route, grouping and labeling it by sector. Meanwhile, large envelopes go through what's called the flat sorting machine. It does what 3 machines did for the standard size letters. Postmarks the stamp, reads the address, applies a barcode sticker, reads the barcode, sorts the mail, and drops it into the corresponding letter carrier's bin. If the machine can't make out an address, the envelope goes for manual sorting. There, postal workers handle more than just illegible addresses. They also hand sort mail going out of country and envelopes that are too thick or bulky to go through the automated machines. At all stages of mail processing and delivery, workers are on the lookout for envelopes bearing insufficient postage. Those letters are returned to sender. Letter carriers sort the mail for their routes by street and civic number. If they have a walking route, they load up their first bag full and head off. A truck delivers the rest to a locked box along the route called a relay box. Carriers pick up the rest of their mail when they pass by it. Some letter carriers have what's called a motorized route. They deliver all their customers' mail by truck, which sure beats walking door to door in a blizzard. Hens don't have to mate to lay eggs, and as long as there's no rooster in the vicinity, those eggs remain unfertilized and edible. The breed of hen is what determines the color of the shell, but there's no pecking order when it comes to color. White or brown, all eggs are the same inside. The action begins in the hen house, where female chickens start laying eggs when they're 19 weeks old. The building is well ventilated, the temperature and humidity strictly controlled. To stimulate laying, fluorescent lighting simulates 15 hours of daylight. The hens eat a measured amount of food 3 times a day. Their feed is made up of various grains mixed with soybean for protein. It's fortified with vitamins and minerals and contains calcium to strengthen the eggshells. The hens also drink water from nipple-ended tubes attached to their cages. All these carefully monitored conditions are designed to maximize the yield. The average hen lays about 300 eggs a year. The cage floor is sloped, so the eggs automatically roll onto a conveyor belt. Then it's onto a larger conveyor belt, which transports the eggs to the packing room. The hen's manure drops through the bottom of their cages onto a conveyor below. Even so, some eggs do get dirty. They'll be thoroughly cleaned and disinfected later on. Automated equipment transfers the eggs onto plastic flats. It places them wide end up to keep the yolks properly centered. The flats go into a cold room until a refrigerated truck ships them to the grading station, whose job is to classify the eggs by quality. The best, grade A, end up on supermarket shelves. Lesser grades go to processing plants to be turned into ingredients used in foods, pharmaceuticals, and products such as shampoos. This automated station is high-tech and high-speed, processing 144,000 eggs per hour. First, a suction machine lifts the eggs off the flats and transfers them onto a moving track leading to the cleaning station. There, a washer gently scrubs the eggs with soap and disinfectant. The water is 45 degrees Celsius. Anything hotter would cook the eggs. Then it's into a dryer for 5 seconds, where a fan sucks up the moisture. The eggs then pass over a bright light, which highlights the condition of the shells. Workers do a preliminary visual inspection, removing any that are cracked. A grading camera above assesses the condition and quality of the shell's exterior. Further down the line, other cameras will inspect the interior for blood. To check the strength of the eggshells, acoustic sensors tap on the eggs, detecting any brittle shells by the different sound of the tap. The inspection machines mark and reject any egg that doesn't make the grade. Grade A, that is. The approved eggs move on to electronic scales, which register their weight class, from peewee to jumbo. Pressure-controlled claws then transport them to the corresponding packaging line. On the way, every egg gets stamped with a lot number for quality control tracking. The packing machine stamps the egg cartons with a 35-day later best before date. As for the hens, their expiry date comes at 72 weeks, when the eggs they lay are no longer consumption quality. For all their hard work, they win an all-expenses-paid trip to the slaughterhouse. A pen set is a classic gift for any occasion, be it a birthday, a graduation, or a promotion. We're not talking pens of the inexpensive ballpoint variety, but rather those Cadillac models in sleek metal or sumptuous wood. The quill dates back to about 700 AD. Made from a bird feather, its tip had to be repeatedly dipped in ink. Messy and inefficient, the quill remained the norm for more than 1,000 years, until 1884, when an American invented the fountain pen with its built-in refillable ink barrel. But the true revolution came with the no-fuss ballpoint pen, patented by two Hungarian brothers in 1938. Handcrafted wooden pens can be made from just one type of wood or from a combination of woods. This artisan uses some 50 different kinds, ranging from domestic maple and oak to imported rosewood, ebony, olive wood, and purple heart. When using just one type of wood, he runs the block through a bandsaw, cutting a 15 by 15 millimeter wide strip. Then, with a radial saw, he cuts that strip into two pieces, each about 5 centimeters long. These will become the pen's top and bottom casings. Using a tool called a drill press, he bores a hole roughly 7 millimeters in diameter right through each piece. Making a pen from a combination of woods takes a little more work. Instead of using a block of solid wood, he constructs a block by gluing together thin planks of contrasting woods. Once the glue dries, using a wood planer, he removes the excess and smooths out the sides. Then, just as he did for the single wood pen, he cuts the block into 15 by 15 millimeter wide strips. Only this time he slices diagonally so that each strip showcases the multiple woods. Again, he cuts pieces for the top and bottom casings, then drills a hole through them. From this point on, whether one or more woods, the process is the same. He coats 2 brass tubes with glue and inserts one in each casing, adding a few drops of water to expand the adhesive into any gaps between the tube and the surrounding wood. These brass tubes will house the pen's mechanism. The glue takes about an hour to dry. Then he uses what's called a hand mill to square all the angles and remove the excess glue. Now for the artistic part. He turns the casings on a lathe to shape them. First, he rounds them out. Then, using a series of tools, he gives each casing unique detailing. He highlights the grooves by using the heat that friction generates to burn them dark. When the design work's done, he runs a sanding cord inside the grooves.